Alright, so we're going to start with servers for 7 days to die. This is going to be a quick and easy tutorial for most people. For some people, it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. Just going to go my normal speed. If that's too much, we'll go ahead and edit it. So, we're going to create a new server for 7 days to die. We're going to go ahead, got a server name. I'm going to ignore the map because we're going to change that. Server regions North America, and we're going to stick with the default plan. So that's going to be created right here. So go ahead and move it here to the top so we can see it easily. While that's doing that, let's go ahead and get our custom world file. So I'm going to go here where I have my install of nitrogen. I've got the 819 version, so I'm going to go ahead and run this. So I'm going to use the 8K default size. This right here is very, very important. The map name. This is something you're going to be using a lot when you're creating your custom worlds. And this is what the panel is going to need in order to know what your map is. So we're going to go ahead and nitro, let's say arc tutorial. We're going to call it 01. Actually, no, we're just going to leave it arc tutorial. Even better. And I only want this to be anywhere between 4K to 12K. 14, 16 are very, very unstable. 8K is your largest stable that you should go to. 10K is okay, and 12K is like you can get by it with just you and a couple of friends. That's only if you're not using mods. That's vanilla. If it's modded 12K, you're gonna have some stutters, a lot of lag. So keep it small. Since it's just a tutorial, I'm gonna go ahead and use the 4K, and then I can play with my settings here. I usually, when I play, I add lots of traders. That's what I like doing. For this, I'm just going to do the one per city, and I'm going to leave most of my settings default here, except for this. Turn that off. No one likes those. Alright, then I'm going to turn this down and give it more of random. So it's 100% random here. I'm going to generate a new. We're going to use my current output folder here. And we're going to use the default A19. I do have compo pack, but we're not going to use that for this. If you have Darkness Falls installed, you will choose the special zones and you will add your Darkness Falls zones. That's right there. You're welcome. Alright, we're going to generate. And I can't speed up the video. I'm not good at editing. I'm not the editor. Okay, so don't get at me for that. Just go ahead and take a look at this guy. Might need to refresh the page. There it is. So let's go ahead and do our initial settings. Name looks fine. I don't really need to do anything with this except for don't use any of this. I mean, you can use those, but you don't use those. Don't want to use this. None of that. Don't use any of that in your message of the day. It'll break it. Your server won't start. Okay, server branch. I'm going to use the default, which is the current stable. That's what it is. This is stable branch. This is the experimental. We're going to stay here. I'm not going to mess with server map because I'm changing this. This right here, I don't need to touch. I'm going to leave it at Navigaine. And I don't want it to update. Never update. Because I'm adding custom stuff or mods, I don't want it to update. So I'm going to click save for this first one, but I'm not going to restart it yet. Okay, now I'm going to go to the advanced. This is the game save. This is you can have multiple game saves. So this is game save 1. Okay, so if I decide I'm playing with a group of friends and we want to try another map, but then still want to come back to our old map, we can just change these two options here and restart the server. We won't have to, change too much. This would be the different map. So that is our arc tutorial, which is finished here. So I'm going to go ahead and put arc tutorial right there. So arc tutorial. This is our generated name, the one we made over here. This name, they're exactly the same. Our save name, there it is, it's all good. I'm going to leave all my other settings default because they're not really needed right now. I'm going to save those settings. I'm going to go to SFTP and I'm going to click leave uploaded files intact, click save mod settings, and then open up my FileZilla. I'm going to copy the host. There's the port. We'll get to that next. Let's go ahead. Username. Password. Now we can do our port, which is 22. I'm going to quick connect. It's going to ask me if I trust this host. If you plan on logging in a lot, you can go ahead and use that. And I'm going to go into the 7 days, and I'm going to create a directory, mods. Most people will tell you to put your world inside of this area. However, that is put simply, if your server does update for any reason, or you decide to update it later on, anything inside your data folder will be wiped. Don't leave it in your data folder. Create a mods folder and create a mod. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow the guide. So go to the frequently asked questions in the Discord. If you also email us through our support, we can send the guide through your email as well. So go down, and I want for modding, it's going to tell me how to get in. I created my mod directory already. Now, this is where it's anything that would normally go in your data folder, we're going to place it in our mods folder. So let's create a folder. So this one is going to be create directory, and we're going to call this arc generated. So I can go inside that now. This is my mod. Now I'm going to need two XML files. One of these XML files isn't exactly necessary, but it's good to get into using both of them at all times. All right. So I'm going to go here and open up a notepad. I do have Notepad++, but not everyone knows or wants to run around with Notepad++. I'm just going to copy this. And I'm going to change my generated worlds to arc generated. Spelled exactly the same. So capital G for generated, so it's right there, same. And I'm going to remove the 0.2 because it's just version 19 for me. And I want to save the file as, set it to all files, and I'm going to put this on my desktop under temp, so it'll show up right here because that's where I have this directory set to. And this one's going to be modinfo.xml. So that one's done. Let's see. There it is. So we can just drag that right over here. And then I'm going to grab this one. Change this. Save as. I believe this one's just mod. Yeah, mod.xml. Don't forget to select all files so you can save it as an XML, not a text. So that should be saved. There we go. So now we'll create a worlds folder. Go inside of that. Now we can move over our newly generated world, which you'll find under the open output folder. You'll be able to look at Arc tutorial. Everything should be there. You can look at the preview to see what kind of map you created. So this is our map. Now we just want to grab the entire folder, Arc tutorial, and drop it directly into our worlds folder under Arc generated. All right, it's done. So there we go. Now we've created a mod, so we can load our custom. I'll go ahead and put all this stuff down. So Arc generated's done. And as this says, we're pretty much done with setting up our world. Now we can come back to here. Everything looks good here, here. Go here to console. Server's currently online, so what we'll do is we'll restart it. It's right here. We'll just give it a quick moment here. Shouldn't take too long because it's not creating its own. So it's not using the RWG system, so it's not going to take forever. Okay, so right here is what I wanted to show you real quick, is where it went ahead, did loading, it initialized it, found our arc generated, which is an alpha 19 mod, and it has successfully loaded arc generated. Okay, so server has loaded up. It's created the world. Game server initialization completed. Awesome. Let's see. Right here, created world, arc tutorial. That's the there we go. Arc tutorial. Generated name is arc tutorial. That's right. And then it's game save 01, game mode survival. Kind of froze there. So yeah, that's all done. I can join my server and enjoy my new world.